Welcome to the Recruiter Startup Podcast. I'm joined here with Darragh Everard from Dublin. He is the Managing Director of Eirkoo, and we would just want to know, how are you going? Are you enjoying yourself?
Terribly. How are you doing?
What's worse than bad?
This is worse than bad. Yeah.
Do you know what I feel like? You know those stories you hear about those old boys who used to get up in the last recession and put on their suit and go to work? I feel a little bit like that.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, my wife is proving that she's a much more resourceful recruiter than me. So
really,
she's gone into crisis mode. So like she's working. She's got the team running, like working specific. Everybody has a different brief. She's been working aerospace engineering type stuff that I have no clue about. But looks like we're all going to be doing it pretty soon if this doesn't pick up. What are you hearing from the market out there?
Yeah, so like there was initial massive panic about 2 weeks ago, like huge panic, because as you can imagine, our sector after hospitality is probably one of the ones that's going to get hit the most. And it gets hit in lots of ways. Like, I mean, the first thing is obviously the money. And like, you know yourself, like in recruitment, you've got sort of 4 pockets of cash. You've got your cash in your bank. You've got your invoice that are due to be paid. You've got your invoice you're due to send out. And then you've got your money you're paying your suppliers. So you got to look at those 4 pockets individually and say, right, what are we going to do in each of these? So you got to have conversations with everybody, but things were helped. We've a government initiative here that we initiated whereby if you work 3 days a week, you can claim social welfare for the other 2. And when you're on the wage that a typical recruiter or associate recruiter is on, your net income isn't affected too much. And we can actually reduce people's threshold based on that. So we initiated that straight away with a view that we didn't want to lose anyone, but then the economic package saved us, basically.
Nice. Not everybody's done that, though. I take it there's been mass layoffs in the Dublin market as much as other marketplaces, or has everybody availed of that?
No, a couple of companies acted pretty quickly and just started to put people on temporary leave. We kind of waited a week or 2, just hoping that something would arise. Not everyone knew about this scheme that we have. So, sorry, someone's come in. The cleaner.
All right. Keep going.
Yeah, can you edit this out, yeah?
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, only about 5 people watch it anyway.
Right, okay.
So tell me, what type of stuff, like the market? Yeah, so it's tough, having those conversations with suppliers. Oh man. Oh yeah, we owe you an invoice today. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Okay, great. Can we get a payment plan together? What type of stuff what type of conversations are you having?
Yeah, so lots of different types of ones. So like I think sometimes a situation like this is actually a good chance to strengthen your relationship with your clients. And actually it's really, really good ones. Like we're happy to work with anyone that's happy to work with us. So we've had a number of companies that we know pretty well, and some we've just actually started dealing with part paying. Like I'll always take a company who's willing to part pay if it's not going to impede our cash flow too much. Like we want to help clients as much as we're looking for help from suppliers as well. So we're having lots of conconversations. Like with our bigger clients, we're saying, look, we really need you to help us out here. Yeah, we number 10 with blue chip clients that we've had a really, really strong performance on for a number of years. And we're saying to them, look, those that are in certain industries that are booming, like logistics or pharmaceutical, we're saying, look, this is your time to really help us out, and we'll return the favor some stage.
That's the velvet glove.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the iron fist.
Yeah, that's the other side of the coin. So I will be extremely comfortable assisting clients with power payment, but I won't accept non-payment, and I won't accept non-communication. Our friend that we wish we bought shares in about 2 weeks ago, Backdoor Barry,
they weren't for sale.
Oh my God. Like anyone who's not willing to pay, not willing to talk to us, then that person will go straight to him. We're going to have not much shorter, but a shorter client list, but a much better client list. Like I'm going to really find out over the next 12 weeks who my good clients are. And I'm going to really find out ones I shouldn't be dealing with. Like we've had clients who just couldn't start people, so we're not going to invoice them. We've had clients who had to start people, then had to let them go after 2 weeks. We're having conversations with them saying, okay, let's put a plan in place. What can we do? Let's think outside the box. So you got to try what you have to try. But yeah, Barry gets the ones who don't talk to us.
So I said to Barry, I said, how's business? And he said, it's fabulous. I'll let you come to my third house in France. And I said, oh, it must be a terrible time for you. He says, oh no, I feel really bad for all the businesses out there. I said, really? And he said, well, I'm not going to give the money back.
No. Do you know what, actually, that's one thing I've really learned just in the last week. The value of having a good lawyer and a good accountant is absolutely valuable. Like our accountants have been first class. We've been on to them every second day saying this is what we want to do. With this government initiative that's been brought into play, they've given us every slight interpretation of that we can take advantage of. They've told us what's too far. Like good legal and good accounting advice is invaluable in a situation.
Our accountant is as useless as tits on a ball, and we were changing them. We're changing them faster now, but we're getting a recruitment specific one, and the same with the lawyer. You know, like to have somebody who just knows our industry and how it applies to us. I find it is invaluable. So that's the iron fist. That's some of the operational side. Where's the opportunity here?
There's a few. Like I said, I think it's the first one is with your existing candidate and client base. Like to me, that's what you have to ring fence. But before you start go looking for anything else, like you have to basically exhaust that completely. So we're speaking to clients who we've worked with for some time, particularly those that are paying us on time, and just saying, look, we really appreciate it. You're going to be the one getting the first call when we have that star candidate now. You can really strengthen relationships in a situation like this. Like I don't mind even assisting clients filter their applicants. I'll do whatever we can for our good clients so that there's an opportunity to strengthen relationship there. I think when you're negotiating your terms with payment, there's a real big opportunity to get exclusive roles when all this comes back. So that's what we've been able to do to say, look, okay, if you can't pay us straight away, let's retain your guarantee. Let's part pay over a month or 3 months. But the next time you got a job, we hope we're your go-to company. So that's the opportunity. There's going to be a lot of good recruiters let go. They just haven't had the chance to bill. They just haven't had the opportunity for the company to fund them to allow them to become good. So that's another opportunity. There's going to be a lot of really, really good candidates mistreated by their companies for sure. Just, I'm sure, out of necessity. And they will be disenfranchised and want to come to the market later in the year when all this comes back.
Do you go back to your younger self in the recession when you're thinking about the people who work for you now? You know, when you were starting out in recruitment and you were like, you just had your screen just flicked off there. The question was, you started your career in a recruitment agency just as the recession, just like as the recession was taking hold. Like, did you learn any lessons from that time that you can apply to the people who work for you now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that company went bust. And interestingly enough, the director in the office here, John Mansell, he and I met in that business. I think I was like, there was like 63 of us. Yeah. there was like 63 of us in April, and the company was shut by the end of the year. I was like in the second last tranche of 14 to be let go. John was in the last tranche. I think he was the last person working for the business. And like that, there were a lot of mistakes that business made. I think they potentially deferred certain payments, but their cost base was way too high. Base was way too high. And you think that's a great thing when you're there, but not when the company goes bust and you can't pay any commission. We run the business quite financially responsible. Our salaries are market rate, but our commission split's very, very high. So I think we're in a financially responsible position to get through this as long as it doesn't last too long. And as long as we can chip away at some fees on the way and our clients keep paying.
And to get your people working from home, what's that been like?
That's very tough. I found that tough myself, to be honest. I enjoy coming into the office. I enjoy interacting with everyone. I enjoy the buzz.
Showing off your latest fancy shirt, shoes.
Yeah, trying to get all the guys buy-in. Yeah, all my rented gear, renting shoes in local shop.
One, I just put in my car there for them, and I just
renting cars and all that. No, like that is tough. Like, I mean, so we're trying to balance a few things. Okay, so you've often got a number of different sects within your business. You've got the section of the business that is well established and has their client base and has their candidate base, and they just want to make sure that they can keep in touch with that, keep making some fees, that the commission is still going to be paid, and they're going to get through this. You've got the people who are coming up the curve and are still trying to chip away, but then you've got the people who are less than 6 months in. Now that's really difficult. Okay. Working from home when you have an existing client base and a reputation and people answer your calls and they can see you've been in recruitment for 2 or 3 years on LinkedIn, so they'll talk to you. That's okay. If you're 6 months in and you're getting peppered by all recruiters anyway, your candidates are getting peppered by all the recruiters, it's very hard to get it. And plus you're not going to be picking up jobs. So what we're saying to people is we've actually announced that we're going to give everyone the option to take up the 12-week social welfare plan here. So the new package is the government will subsidize 70% of your salary up to a certain point, or you can go on social welfare at an extended rate. It's about €1,500 a month net. So we've said to people, like, we actually want you to make a choice now, because we don't want people sitting at home for 12 weeks, having a horrible impression of the job, not getting anywhere, hating life, and then just sacking it off. We'd rather people took a break and came back refreshed. But I think probably 10 or 11, maybe 12 out of the 13 are going to keep going. But it's very hard. Like we're switching it to make it task-based instead of time-based.
Really? That makes sense. I mean, the onus is on them to do the work then. We have ours as task-based as well. But within, like, I've had to cut some hours, which is hard. We've tried to do it in the right way and haven't had to let anybody go, which is great. And hopefully we can ride it out for the next few months. Talk to me about predictions. When are we going to? What do you think? When are we going to be back to work?
I think anyone that tries to predict it is really just sucking their finger and putting it in the air. To be honest,
like my best guess.
That's no. But honestly, my best guess. I'm just going by a few things. Like, I think, a client of ours is in the hospitality industry, and the Irish Vintners Association has told them to expect pubs to be back open in August. This government initiative is for 12 weeks. This the rates of confirmed cases is not increasing as much as it was in other countries, but I think there might be a 3-month hell period, like of scrap city. The only clients that are hiring are in the industries that are in demand, like logistics, FMCG, the wholesalers, pharmaceutical, medical, in industries like that. Everyone else will park everything. And then things will slowly get back on track for the following 3 months. But the issue is, if things do pick up in 3 months' time, it's 6 months before we see any cash in our account. So things pick back up in 3 months. People go back to work, great. Settling in period of a month. Roles start popping up. People start serving notice. By the time the invoice is out there and paid, it's going to be, it could be October before we see regular income come back in, I think. And now the good thing for us is we've a decent temp book. So those temps have all been kept on. And that will carry us through a large part of the next 12 weeks, hopefully.
Yeah. Trump, I'm in Santa Barbara still, and Trump's talking about
Big dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you were keeping in touch with me, so I was living my millionaire lifestyle at the start of this trip, and let's say that's all gone right now.
Well, this is what I was talking with someone about this today. Myself and the chairman of the business, Niall Hamill, myself, the other director, John, and Niall, we were sitting in the Shelburne 2 weeks ago I think Niall and I sat there for about 8 hours. John was there as well. And we must have talked about how this year was going to be the best year for ours. We'd had a record January, we'd had a record February. The only thing we disagreed on was where the incentive trip was going to be this year. So we went to Dubai last year, and there was full on, we wanted to be Ibiza. Someone else wanted it to be Greece. Someone else wanted it to be New York, Vegas, whatever. And like, this was the conversation, like literally 2 weeks ago in a packed bar in the Shelburne. And now, like, Dublin's like a zombie apocalypse now, right? Because no one's on the streets. The only people that are out there are junkies and homeless. So everyone's walking around white as a sheet with their eyes hanging out. It's like end of days here.
Yeah, it is. It is tricky times. But Trump's talking about getting people back to work by Easter, which blows my mind.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, he may get the whole country. He may just go, okay, New York, LA, San Fran, you're on lockdown. The rest of you go nuts.
I don't know. Yeah, I think in Australia, each state is doing its own different thing. I think so, unless they start initiating that over in America. But like my main fear of this, I mentioned to you before, is that if this hits the third world, it'll be devastating. Like you try and do social distancing in Calcutta, and particularly with the amount of illnesses over there, with the health system, with like that's going to be major. People's immunity in general in the third world isn't strong. Like it would be devastating. So it's in everyone. I know, like, look, economically this is a nightmare, but we need to get rid of this ASAP.
We do. It seems like it's testing. Testing's the first step, and then they have some drugs to treat it that are going to be released soon to help the therapy, as they call it, and then it's building the wave of drugs to do the prevention. You can tell I've been watching a lot of CNN, and I'm fully Americanized in my hope that I'm going to get through this.
If you going over there, it's like the opposite to the American dream. It's like the American nightmare.
I know, man. We went from looking at houses in neighborhoods. We're like, oh, yeah, we'll keep our house in the UK, and we'll have an office here, and we'll, like, complete fantasy land. And then all of a sudden, 55 interviews goes to 2, and I go,
wow,
okay, all right, so okay, and then X amount is wiped off P&L. Oh, it was just apocalyptic stuff, and I was like, okay, right, so Rectorac's a nice little earner when the world is going well, but you're at the bottom of the food chain, so. You get hit first, so we are absolutely pivoting into different areas to make sure that we don't have one little horse in a race in the future. That's that.
Any issues with cash flow or any clients acting up?
Well, my friend Backdoor Barry is on one in Dublin already. Had a nice post that's gone to nearly 100,000 people on that. We had Joe Mullings pay an invoice for something that we haven't even done yet, which made a big deal. So that's going to help us a wee bit with some immediate cash flow. And then I have 4 other things that I'm trying to create payment plans or just give them an extra few weeks and that. And then it's just about, what can we do now that's going to get paid in July and August? And
do you still have clients hiring?
No. I 1 or 2 in life sciences. And as I said, like Charlotte's working like 6 positions in aerospace sales across the US. So the girls all have, it's funny, like I have 4 of them all work in specific areas. And 3 of them doing that. And then Andrea, who's been with me the longest, I've just said, look, do a tiny bit of sourcing, touch base with people, but more just check in with the clients and candidates that we've ever dealt with. Just see if they're all right. Just check in. How are you? How are you getting on? Well, hopefully we'll see you on the other side of this. And that's been well received. It's just people that we haven't even spoke to in a while, just to see, we've placed so many people around the world in the last 5 years. So to see that somebody come back, oh yeah, it's great. We're doing all right. We're held up here. I've placed a few guys in Australia recently, and I feel sorry for the companies. They reload them, started them, paid my invoice, paid their first month salary, all that stuff, and then just said, "Listen, sorry, you have to go."
Wow.
So then I have to get Andrea to say to the guy, like a guy over there, nice lifestyle, all the rest. So she's been hitting up all her other clients saying, "Hey, no fee, no nothing. We've got a guy.
Wow.
he's here. So some people speak to him now, which is good. But I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for the client. Nobody could have known, And then yeah, it could be a lot worse. At least like as business owners, we have a lot of pressure and we don't know what's going to come ahead. But our fate is in our own hands, and quite happy for that.
Yeah, no, big time. I wouldn't like. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like a big, massive corporation deciding what's going to happen with me now. To be honest, like this is like, look, I'm not sugarcoating. This is a nightmare. Like I went from, in the space of 2 weeks, I went from thinking I was going to have my best year ever to I'm going to lose the business to I think we're going to be fine. And that's a stressful.
That's a roller coaster.
That's a roller coaster and a half. Like I find now, like I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I just like bang on and just like, when something's going on, once you're up, then you're awake for the day.
Yeah.
Really, really, really busy. Like I've charged my phone 3 times today. Just because you're always on it to people, like when your team's working remotely, you're trying to talk to candidates and clients and suppliers. But like in some ways, like I think there'll be good recruiters come out of this. Like I'm really, really intrigued to see how we get on with this task-based week. Like I think it might change the mindset of some of the guys. Instead of thinking, right, we've got to be here between 8:30 and 5:30, we're saying to them, right, okay, this is your task list for the week. These are the things you have to tick off. You do it in whatever time you can, whatever hours you want. Like we were doing morning calls with the guys at 8:30. We're not going to be doing that. We're just going to check in on the Monday, do a wrap at lunchtime on a Friday, and check in the odd time during the week. But it's a good chance to see who can actually operate the week themselves, and it might just make them realize that the work should be way more task-based and time-based.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Darragh, that's it. We will see you on the other side of this. So let's say you said pubs are going to be open in August. I'm definitely getting over to Dublin to wreck the place.
Good, yeah. Good. Oh, I'm not talking about this on the call, but yeah, good.
Very good. All right. I will see you later, and thank you for coming on.
All right. Have a good day, Justin. See you.